Galaxy Digital sells off 30,000 Bitcoin overnight, sending the price below $115,000. Much of crypto right now kind of panicking about this. This is one of the clearest signals that we've had in this cycle for altcoin season. And I'm not trying to spin it. I'm going to show you exactly how clear as day that is. I'm going to look at the Bitcoin dominance chart. Actually, while this is happening, Bitcoin dominance falling right now. We're going to look at altcoins, the altcoin chart, Ethereum, SUI offering an insane cycle kind of picture for altcoins and what to watch for even in the short term. And then I want to take a glance at ADA charts. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. I want to mention something. I posted this yesterday. This is something just to keep in mind. We've been tracking the potential for a dip. We're in a dip. But this is also something to keep in mind for the next week. Crypto probably going to get very choppy over the next week due to, number one, President's digital asset report drops July 30th. I think is a very bullish thing. FOMC meeting July 29th to 30th. So what's going to happen with interest rates next week as well? There's just going to be a lot of volatility. Don't let market makers shake you out in the volatility. So let's jump into this news. Let's jump into what is going on. If you remember yesterday, I talked about Bitcoin ETF flows versus Ethereum ETF flows. We see, if we look at Bitcoin ETF, a lot of red. We see some outflows, but I think more generally what we were talking about was Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin right now. And we look at this as kind of just this very clear data point that is signaling a shift to altcoins, an interest to altcoins. Well, now we have this headline. And you might be like, well, what does this have anything to do with kind of a shift to altcoins? Well, check this out. Galaxy Digital, they sell off 30,000 Bitcoin overnight, sending the price below 115,000. Where's their head at? Like, are they thinking the crypto top is in? What are they doing? Look at this. This is a clip from, this was posted today. I'm not exactly sure when this was, but I'm pretty sure it's recently. Digital Galaxy CEO. So remember, Galaxy Digital, they're selling Bitcoin. Here's Mike Novogratz. Check this out.
An Ether micro strategy of sorts in terms of a leveraged bet that other people are going to be able to buy into. Also, everything's getting tokenized. We've talked about stable coins. Right now, if you could buy Ether or Bitcoin, which do you buy?
Think about that question and let's listen to the answer. Galaxy Digital, if you could buy Bitcoin or Ether, what do you buy? They're selling Bitcoin. Everybody's panicking. Listen.
You know, I own both. Listen, Ether's caught up a lot. It feels like if ETH takes out 4,000, it goes into price discovery. And so we feel kind of destined to at least knock on the 4,000 ceiling a few times. The narrative of Ether is really powerful, and the market was really short. And now we have not just, one, we have two major ETH treasury companies and another one coming, and they're raising.
I think that just says a lot. I think that just says it all. And I think this was today, actually, just looking at the price action of Ethereum right there on the screen. It's essentially where the price of Ethereum is right now. So, okay, so Galaxy Digital is selling Bitcoin, and Mike Novogratz over here, CEO of Galaxy Digital, just insanely bullish on Ethereum, talking about a $4,000 target. And really, if I'm reading into that correctly, just the start of an Ethereum bull run. So that's what's going on right now. And then I saw this post from itrustcapital. In the new regulatory crypto era, Ethereum's position just got stronger. ETH is the largest beneficiary of the Genius Act, which just passed, according to the co-founder and chairman of Ether Machine, Andrew Keys. 200 billion plus in liquid assets, 10x the capital, unmatched developers, and user base. So do you see what's happening while Bitcoin dominance is falling? And by the way, shout out to itrustcapital. They're the sponsor of today's video. You can buy and sell your crypto. And when we start diving into like the SUI charts and what's, I think, getting ready to happen for altcoins, if you're making macro trades, if you're a macro investor like I am, and I just made as many of you know, an asset allocation towards SUI in my itrustcapital account, you can do this tax-free within your account. So you can plan macro, you can pivot from Bitcoin to altcoins or altcoins to Bitcoin or to USD, whatever you're doing, the macro trades within your crypto IRA, tax-free. It's insanely simple to set up an account. And shout out to itrustcapital. So hit the link below, get set up with them. And please check them out because they've just been an awesome company in the crypto space. They are the #1 crypto IRA platform in America. So here's Bitcoin dominance falling on the daily chart. And I don't want to spend a ton of time. I think there's a macro indicator that we all know about already. It's the monthly on Bitcoin dominance. That is very crucial to me. It's a 20-month moving average, 57, around 58%. I want to see Bitcoin get there. I really want to see Bitcoin get there. I don't know if it will. I don't know how long it will take, but I want to see it get there and I want to see it fall below. Now, if that happens, while we're getting this uptrend in crypto, Ethereum, SUI, Cardano, everything outperforming Bitcoin, now we're talking altcoin season confirmation, altcoin season indicator. The move that we're waiting for that is requiring patience, and we talked about it recently. If we're going to go into more consolidation, it is what it is. On the macro, altcoins, I don't think they've ever looked so good at this intersection of just bull market, business cycle, which is bullish for risk on assets like crypto, but also this pro-regulatory environment that we're entering for crypto, but maybe there's pullback and then we're getting a breakout. We're waiting for the breakout, long story short. We've talked about a lot in terms of Ethereum, this busted pattern. I want to use SUI in this video, but Ethereum is in play with this busted pattern, revisiting this triangle. We're waiting for the breakout here. I've done so much analysis on it. It's still there. Let's see what happens. Maybe again, we're revisiting the apex and then we're breaking out. I don't know how this will play out. Let's continue tracking that, but I want to spend some time on SUI today. Now, SUI on the macro has some really nice targets, right? And this, by the way, isn't only just the absolute only targets for SUI. If you look at this, we have a very nice, from where it is right now, 1618 higher high area. That's 100% gains. That's not to say that's the bull market target for SUI, but it's a nice target for SUI if we're about to get an altcoin breakout. Now, with that being said, if we break this down a little bit further, we have also to the upside kind of this pattern target around $13. The pattern target is the upper trend line of this pattern, higher highs that SUI is in. And then if you look across the industry, there are just a ton of targets for SUI. I noticed a $13 to $25 SUI, I believe was based off of Van Eck analysis. And we're looking at, this range here of up to around 600% down to around almost 300%. So all of these targets are just very natural, organic SUI swing high targets for the bull market. And this plays into the broader narrative of altcoins, right? If we're about to enter a bull run, right? It also plays into the broader cycle analysis. What if SUI breaks out of this trend line and then it goes into really crazy price discovery and then we're maybe entering some crazy consolidation, huge dip, falling back into the pattern itself, revisiting a lower trend line at $9, $8 to $9. I'm looking ahead in that regard because I'm trying to continually tell the story of an altcoin bull market, of a crypto bull market, even if it's going to retrace after swing highs. All-time highs are being hit on altcoins. But with that being said, I'm liking SUI right now because here's what's going on in the shorter term. And then I want to take a glance at ADA. Here's SUI with the weekly moving averages. The 20 and the 50, they are just together. They are compressed. SUI is ready to break out. And you can just see it's even in this kind of midterm swing high, lower high. I'm waiting to see if SUI can escape that area. But why is this so meaningful? Because SUI on the macro really has just consolidated in such a healthy way after just absolutely breaking out. If you remember back here in 2024, I'm looking for another move. And I'm really looking for potentially SUI to be a leading indicator for altcoins. Now, here's what SUI looks like on the daily chart. Look at all of the moving averages right now. And this is why, even after this little move back here in July, this pullback is very nice. We have the 20, the 50, the 200 kind of just like right now, just making the pivot to the upside. We want to see all these moving averages make a breakout to the upside and see a bull move kind of picture of moving averages. And what I mean by that is they all consolidate and then boom, the 20 and the 50 are exploding to the upside. We've not even had this move happen yet. We're at the very beginning of a move. The bull move for altcoins hasn't even happened yet. And this is great because Bitcoin dominance right now has been falling if you look at the current monthly candle. So if altcoins after this consolidation, and again, I don't know when this would happen. We have kind of, I think, a volatile week ahead going into next Friday. Right now it's Friday the 25th, but next Friday. But if altcoins, even if they consolidate, even if they dip more with Bitcoin, the move that is getting set up is just starting. We really are, from a SUI perspective, like right here. So SUI has so much upside for making a bull run move. And I don't know how it will look like. We can't just take a fractal and say it's going to look exactly like this, but it could. And so if we get a move like this, are you ready for it? Because this is what I think is getting ready to happen for altcoins. And again, it's not saying it's going to look exactly like that. A lot of this has to do with how Q3 looks like going into Q4, the business cycle, what Fed is doing with interest rates, and all of these different things. But we have so many things that are lining up very nicely for a move like this. And SUI can potentially act as this leading indicator for the altcoin move. I want to take a look at ADA because ADA is just in a very nice consolidation to its own moving averages on the daily chart. Here's the 20, just getting ready to cross above the 200. There's the 50, so it just crossed above the 50. Guess what? Similar to SUI. This is exactly what happened back here. These moving averages just start pivoting to the upside. And then you start getting in a really powerful move. These moving averages just all separated. I need to slow down. I know I need to slow down. I'm trying to cruise through this, but this is just now starting. So 20-day, there's the 200 and eventually the 50-day. This is the move that we want to see in the moving averages. This is all speculative, but this is exactly what cryptos do. This is exactly what altcoins do in bull runs, right? And we're at the very beginning of the move. So even ADA to fall to this trend line that you see down here in yellow, I mean, that's in the 60s. Right now we're at 78 cents. People will become so bearish. And I just want to let you know, SUI will be dipping, Bitcoin probably dipping. That is a very normal move, right? We've broken this kind of trend line that you have here in yellow, and revisiting the trend line and these moving averages area would be very, very normal before a potential swing high. But I don't know. Maybe we see support here at the 220-day moving averages in the mid 70s. I'm going to track it. The next 7 days, again, very volatile. Even going into next weekend, very volatile. Perhaps it's the Monday that follows where crypto starts kind of resetting to the upside. I'm not sure, but these are all the things that I'm tracking. I wanted to try and make this very simple, to the point, but a lot going on right now. One thing to just make note of once more, Galaxy Digital making an obvious, clear as day, macro pivot from Bitcoin to Ethereum. That is a huge, huge move for altcoins. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you watching. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, get set up with iTrustCapital if you're not already. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.